Hi, I'm Sandy, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 15 and Life with Sandy. Well, good morning. Let me fix myself. I'm going to get presentable. It's early, yet again. But today is Thursday, December 15th, and we have some birthdays today. Today is Carmen Tadeo, T-A-D-E-O, or Tadeo. Carmen, you knew I'd mess up your last name. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carmen. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Suzanne, and the name of her channel is The Castle 03. So Suzanne, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Suzanne. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Laura Hughes' birthday, so Laura, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. I almost forgot my other hand. It's also May Purcell, P-U-R-C-E-L-L. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear May. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. I had a really good friend whose name was May, and then I lost I hope you all have great birthdays. Sorry about that. But I had a really good friend, May, and we were together for friends for a long time. This friends I made as an adult. She was on my bowling team, my bowling league, and then she turned up. Fortunately, I met her on the bowling league, and then her team kind of disbanded, and we needed a fifth person on our team, and so we had asked May to join us, and so May joined us, and so she did with us, and we bowled like for probably 5 or 6 or 7 years. We had parties together. We went out and everything, and then she moved, and so we lost contact, and like 10 years later, 10, 11 years later, where this one particular job where I was working, she came in for an interview for the job, and I kept looking at her and I'm thinking, you look so familiar, like as a good friend, but out 10 years, she lost a lot of weight. I think she lost like 75 pounds or something like that. She just was so different looking. And then when she signed a little thing, because you had to sign a guest book when you came into the building. It was like a secured building. I'll tell you that in a minute. But it's, I looked at their name and I go, May. And then she looked at me and I had put weight on. I put on the 75 pounds she lost. I think I put it on. And then she said, Sandy? And we struck up our friendship again after all those years. And then, unfortunately, the reason she lost so much weight is because she had problems with her heart. And the one night, after we were fooling around at work, not fooling around, but goofing around at work, and she went home, and she had complained the whole day that she wasn't feeling well, and it was really strange because there was this other guy, Dwayne, that he was the nicest guy, but he smoked like a chimney. And somebody had a flat tire, and it was like really bad weather. It was snowing and that, and he went out and changed the tire, and he lived like 45 minutes from the job, and so he went out and changed her tire for her, and then said goodbye, and then he drove away and went home and made it home, but he never got out of his car. He had a heart attack in his driveway of his house. His wife had come out and found him, and he was dead. So come a week later, May and I we were just talking about Dwayne, because he was such a nice guy, and she says, that's the way I want to go. I just want to go quick. I don't want to, I want to go do a good deed for somebody and then just be gone. I don't want to, and she says, then with my heart issues, I just worry about things like that. But, it's like, if it's my time, it's my time. And so we had a really good time. It was like a group of 5 of us. We were just, talking. And she went home and she had a heart attack and she died. So it was just, I know, depressing. It's like supposed to be Christmas and we're supposed to be cheering things on. But anyway, where I worked as I was like, I opened the mail, but as I opened the mail, because I was the mailroom clerk, but then as the mail steadily got a little bit later and later, that what they had me do was work on the desk, watching the phones, answering the phones, transferring them to where and opening the mail at the same time. I was multitasking. Got paid the same amount of money, but I liked it because it kept me busy. I'd rather be busy because your time goes by faster than just like, no, I'm not going to do it because that's not my job. No, I just would do whatever I could. But we were on the second floor. We were on the third floor, and so you had to buzz them in, and nobody could figure out how to buzz. They try to open the door, and there's a sign on the door, but it just shows you people don't read it. The buzz over to the left to get buzzed in. And I used to pretend like it was a marionette show. And so like people were talking to me, I would pretend like I was having a conversation with the person while they were trying to figure out how to work the door. But it was kind of cute. For me, it was. I had fun. And I was never mean. I really, really was never mean. But I would just like, hello, there's a sign. Go to the left, go to the left. Read the sign, read the sign. What am I, I would carry on conversations. And so I just always did that. But we had like these big boulders like in front of the door, like pylons rather, those big cement pylons in front of the door, and on the first floor. And one time I had asked my friend, like my boss, and I said, we have this secured system, like people can't get into the building unless they buzz in from the whatever. Everybody knows it's a secured building. They know that you have to get buzzed in. Why do we need to have those pylons put on? And we did workman's comp injuries, and so a lot of times workman's comp got denied. And so he had told me that, it doesn't matter how far crazy, it doesn't matter if crazy wants to get in, they're going to get in. And I said, well, most of our clients are like, most of our clients were in Kentucky and Tennessee and West Virginia because we kind of carried those states. And he said, crazy knows no distance. They will come no matter what. So it was just kind of determined to keep them from coming in. But I had so much fun at that place. Any job I ever had, I really did like. I just, when I worked at Montgomery Wards, I had one boss that I didn't like. And I've told, a lot of my stories I tell a lot of times, but I think hopefully you forgot about them or you've never heard them because not everybody watches me every day. But when they hired me, I was at Montgomery Wards. One of the reasons I did the switchboard at this other job was because they knew that I did the switchboard when I worked at Montgomery Ward. But I had to use the restroom so badly. And he was the assistant store manager, and there was nobody that could come and take the switchboard just for the 10 or 15 minutes I needed just to go up, because the bathroom was on the second floor, just to go to the bathroom. And so I had asked him, I said, could you please watch the switchboard? And he says, well, I'm the assistant store manager, find somebody else. And I go, well, nobody else knows how to work it because it was a different kind of system. And he says, a monkey could do that. I was so upset. So we had a toy department in Montgomery Wards because it was around Christmas time. And when I had my break, I went up to the bathroom and I got this little monkey. I bought this little pet monkey and stuffed monkey rather. And the next time when I had to go to the bathroom, I put the monkey on the switchboard with the little headphones, the little headphones on top of the monkey, and I went up to the bathroom. And when I got back, he started yelling at me, and I said, you said a monkey could handle that. He wasn't too pleased. Nobody liked him. He got transferred anyhow, but it kind of he was very bitter because he was working in a store. No matter where you live, the cost of living is a little bit different. So like you could live in like California and make like a lot of money. That seems like a lot of money here in Michigan, but the cost of living is so high, and that's why their wages are so high. And then there's other states where the cost of living isn't as high, and so that their wages aren't as high. So he was originally from West Virginia, and at the time the cost of living was better to live in West Virginia than it was to Michigan, because Michigan was very expensive to live in. And so when they offered him the raise to come to Michigan, he was just looking at the dollar amount and not considering the cost of living aspect of it, cost of housing, gas, everything. That really he would have been better off staying in West Virginia because he had a better life in West Virginia because the cost of living was so much better and he could get so much more for his dollar in West Virginia. But no, he saw the dollar sign amount and he came to Michigan, and in actuality, he took a pay cut because it cost so much more, and he was so bitter about that, and he kept complaining about, like how much rent he paid and how much his house payment was where he was in West Virginia, and that when he was living in an apartment and he was paying so much more, whereas, and everybody kept telling him, it doesn't, you have to look at the cost of living at that particular state. And so he kind of took it out on everybody that, like he felt he was bamboozled, and I just thought it was just poor. Like on his part, he just didn't consider the aspects of the job. He just looked at the money. So, because I've had a lot of jobs that I could have got a better position in the job I was at, but it wasn't worth the money for me. I liked what I was doing, and so I thought, am I going to be happier just because I make more money? I have taken jobs that may paid more money because I needed the money. Now, there's a difference if you really need the money to take a job with more money, but if it's just for your own sanity, I just always feel it's better just to stay where you are, happy. But anyway, I was also going to ask for some prayers. My sister-in-law, Barb, still needs some prayers, so if she needs some serious prayers. So if you could pray for her, I really appreciate it. And I have a really good friend whose child needs some prayers too. So if you could pray for my friend and her child, that would be really helpful for me. And like I always say, God always knows what the prayers are for. So, and I never feel like a prayer is wasted. So, but my cousin Paul and Kathy got in yesterday, and then Christy and Sophia came by for a visit last night, and then my brother Michael and Molly came over, and then my sister Mary came over, and we just sat around, talking about growing up and stories like that. And it was I'm in my happy place now. This is like my perfect Christmas this year, is just having my family all around, having a house full of people. We're doing family dinner tonight, then I have my Christmas party on Saturday, and it's just, I just couldn't be happier, really. I mean, I always think that, this is the happiest I'm ever going to be. This is really great. But then, like something else happens, it makes me even happier. And I'm really trying to watch my weight. But I just know that January 1st, I'm coming fierce. I'm really coming fierce. But I'm not going to blow it and just eat a lot of crap. But I'm still somewhat watching what I'm eating. But with that being said, we're going to my favorite pancake place here in a couple minutes after everybody gets ready. And then we're going to go to this wine and liquor store. Like it's huge. It's big. It's called Total Wine. Yeah, I think it's Total Wine. It's in Sterling Heights, and it's got like every kind of whiskey and beer and wine, and it's bigger than a grocery store. It's almost as big as, well, if you're from Michigan, it's almost as big as Meijer's, which is not my favorite store, which we all know. And then yesterday, Samantha's dad, Vince, stopped by for a visit, and we were talking about, they're building 2 big subdivisions by us, and the traffic around here is horrendous anyhow. And the last thing we need is more people on the road. And I'm going to share this little cartoon that Kim sent me from a girl on her phone, because I know that when I'm driving, you hear me. I talk to the drivers like they can hear me. I have no patience for people. Oh, here's the picture. I have no patience for like slow lollygagging drivers. And unfortunately, it's usually old people like me. But I'm the opposite. I tend to drive a little bit too fast. I'm just like a little bit too fast. So I know we kind of got hang on. Just hear those sleigh bells ring-a-ling, ting, ting, ting-a-ling, doom. It's just a lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. I know, Sandy, please stop singing that song. They checked with their family back in Duluth, and they have 20 inches of snow already, and it's still snowing, so they're glad they're here. But I'm just like, I'm giddy happy. I'm just giddy happy. So we're going to do that today, and then we're having family dinner. But today I'm going to share my memory. My memory is going to be with Paul. I showed him at the beginning. He's my cousin Paul. His father and my father were brothers, and he's Lynn is a brother. So Lynn is my cousin that lives in Toronto. Get all the pieces together, put them all together, and they spell family. which makes Sandy happy. So, but if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, and share if somebody might like to see it. This is Paul's memory. I did get memories last night from everybody, so you're going to be bombarded with memories for the next couple days. Thank you so much for letting me share them. I just think it makes the time a little bit more special. Maybe it reminds you of something. So many of you have told me, I know I told you already to like, comment, subscribe, share. And there goes Sandy, rattling on. But so many of you have told me that, like Birdie's story with the dolls. I'm going to try to get a picture from Birdie with her dolls, because I'm sure she's got it somewhere, because we always hear about the dolls. And then just different memories, I think, just remind people of things. They just do. I have so many memories, and I'm so glad you don't have a problem with me sharing them and resharing them and sharing them again. But if I have a memory that you like that I haven't shared recently and you want to hear it again, remind me. Because this old girl's getting old, but she still remembers. So anyway, here's Paul's memory. This is my cousin Paul. You remember him from Minnesota. You don't have a bottle cap.
No, I should get one so I can tap it.
Yeah.
Yes, it drove us nuts when Jim was doing that too. Okay, one of my favorite Christmas memories growing up, my dad was, obviously Sandy's dad and my dad were brothers. Grew up on the south end of Boston, but 5 families stayed in Boston and the other 5 moved around. Well, my dad, when he retired from the Marine Corps when I was a senior in high school, we went to Minnesota where my mom was from. But we moved around quite a bit. I went to changed schools 10 times growing up. But anyway, we lived in Cherry Point, North Carolina. Dad was a sergeant major of an air squadron there, 71 to 73. And we had lived in Virginia for 4 years. And this was our second time in North Carolina for 2 years. And we have been up and down the East Coast. Well, we went to Williamsburg many, many times. Colonial Williamsburg is a fabulous place. If you've never been there, excuse me, I highly recommend it. Colonial Williamsburg, my dad wanted to go to for Christmas when I think it was in 10th grade, 10th or 11th, whatever it was. But anyway, Dad wanted to go to Williamsburg for Christmas, and Mom said, no, we can't afford it. And Dad actually was crying when he came out of the bedroom. He had been saving, and this is, like I said, 1971, had a $100 bill. He said, we can afford it. I've been saving up for this. We're going to Williamsburg. And so we went. And it was fantastic. Colonial Williamsburg, if you've never been there, is designed like it's around 1770, before the Revolution. They talk about things that happened, like the tea tax and stamp tax and things. But it's all people that work at Colonial Williamsburg are in a role playing someone from then. And Christmas trees were not invented then, but they still have them up. And you look at a lot of the colonial houses where they have a real candle in the window, and it was just gorgeous. It snowed a little bit while we were there, so barely anything. It was a little cooler, obviously, but it was one of the most greatest Christmases because we had totally not planned it. And we ended up doing it. We were there for 2 or 3 days, whatever it was, and it was just a fabulous time and just a great memory of Christmas.
Thank you for sharing.